Good afternoon. Citizens Advice Bureau across the region say they'll be able to help fewer people because of funding cuts. They're warning those with problems with debt and benefits will be worst affected. The CAB currently receives legal aid funding to support around 60,000 cases a year in the Northwest. But in the coming year, they'll get money to support just over a quarter of them. Our chief reporter Dave Guest has been finding out what that'll mean for one busy CAB office in Bolton.
So it's come back in, it's not been resolved.
It's another manic morning at the Bolton Citizens Advice Bureau.
Do you get paid on the 5th of December?
No.
No?
No.
Why are you here today?
Just to get some advice, immigration advice.
Okay, so payment issued Monday, due tomorrow.
I'm here to get some help with my tax credits forms to be filled in.
I'm going to get a specialist debt advisor to come in.
But no, job seekers allowance for over 34 weeks now.
This place takes on around 10,000 new clients each year. Many of those cases currently qualify for legal aid funding. But the Justice Department is reducing its so-called social welfare law budget by around £70 million. And that's bad news for centres such as this, which handle a high volume of cases involving housing, benefit and debt problems.
Here in Bolton, they reckon they'll lose around £500,000 from their budget. That could mean up to 20 advisors losing their jobs across the Northwest as a whole. CABs could lose around £8 million, and they say that's coming just as their workload's increasing because changes to the benefit system are creating increased confusion and concern for many.
But the government insists savings have to be made and claims people no longer able to seek advice from CABs could get help elsewhere. Dave Guest, BBC Northwest Today, Bolton.
Well, I'm joined in the studio now for more on that by Barry Lyon, the Chief Executive of Bolton CAB. Now, the Ministry of Justice says resources are not limitless. Legal aid should be saved, they say, for the most serious cases affecting life and liberty. Cuts have to be made somewhere, don't they?
Yes, quite possibly, but I think in this situation it's a false economy. I think when these cuts were announced, our national organisation, Citizens Advice, did some research. And for example, in the most popular query, welfare benefits, for every £1 of money that is given to an advice agency, it saves the public purse £7. Simply by a proper intervention at the right time, stops a lot of false claims being made, a lot of tribunal matters being heard, and so basically streamlines the service in a nutshell.
The government, though, says it is putting some funding into specialist advice services, so they aren't abandoning these kind of advice services altogether, are they?
No, and it's very helpful, but I think we have to put that in context. It's by no means going to replace the amount of money that the legal aid gave to advice agencies. I mean, £8 million in the Northwest is not going to be replaced by the money that the government's given, the coalition government's given to advice agencies. So I do think we have to put that into a great deal of context and think we still have this underlying problem, and certainly with the welfare reforms coming through, it's going to be even more sort of a demand on advice services.
How soon do you see these cuts taking a real effect in your service?
Within the next few weeks. And it's not just Bolton Bureau. I suspect all bureaus or advice agencies are doing the same thing, are going through a process where they're looking at how they can deliver quality services to vulnerable people with less people.
Mr. Lyon, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.